I like Janibek.
Yeah.
He's a good boxer.
Yeah. Sort of Soviet style, but, evolved as a bit like Golovkin's and things with the Qazaq style boxing.
Basically, we're already sounding like we're not giving Mikhailovich a chance.
Yeah, he's a very slick boxer and he's got power.
I do think Janibek is a little bit special in the middleweight division.
He's actually quite good. He's quite high.
Yeah, point win Janibek or a 6-round KO.
Welcome back to BoxCast. Today in this episode, we are going to look at the upcoming fight between Janibek Alimkhanuly and Andrei Mikhailovich. I hope I said those names correctly. On October the 4th, happening in Sydney in Australia. This fight was supposed to take place in Las Vegas a while ago, but I think Janibek had some hydration issues, shall we say, and it was cancelled. So it's been rearranged. So hopefully this time it will go ahead. So we thought we'd make another video on it. You can watch our other video. We'll put a link to the one we made before the previous fight. Tailor the tape. Janibek has had 15 fights, 15 wins, 10 of those by KO. So he's got a 67% KO record. Andrei Mikhailovich has had 21 fights, 21 wins, 13 of those wins by KO, so he's 62%. Janibek is 31, Mikhailovich is 26. They're both the same height, 6 foot tall, 182 centimeters. Mikhailovich has the reach advantage. Janibek is 71.7 inches, so 182 centimeters, and Mikhailovich is 74.4 inches, which is 189 centimeters. It is at middleweight. Which is 160 pounds, 72.5 kilos. Janibek is a southpaw and Mikhailovich is orthodox. So Janibek is the belt holder for this. I think Janibek has 2 belts, but I think this one is only the IBF on the line.
Yeah, it's the IBF and WB something.
Well, I think Janibek has 2, but he has the IBF and WBO, but I think it's only sanctioned for the IBF. We will check and we'll find out. Maybe because where it is or I think it was both titles on the line initially. So Janibek is from Kazakhstan, although he fights out of California. Mikhailovich is originally from, I think, St. Petersburg, but he fights out of Auckland, New Zealand. Your thoughts on this one? I think last time we knew a little bit less about Mikhailovich, so we have done a bit of looking into him. And Janibek is the unified champion at middleweight and the number 1 ranked. I think at least by...
I like Janibek.
Yeah.
He's a good boxer.
Yeah. Well, we have said a few times, because obviously we've discussed Chris Eubank Jr. and Hamza Shiraz and Ruslan Lara. We've done in a few of our recent videos. Janibek is the number 1 of that.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that. I think he's definitely the number 1 in the division.
And then the other good ones are Carlos Adames, I think, Hamza Shiraz, Ruslan Lara, and then if you've got Chris Eubank Jr.
How dare you mention him
Sultanov. And Leah Smith.
No, I think
the 4 of them are the 4 best.
Janibek's top of the tree for me.
Yeah. I would agree.
Puts punches together really well, heavy-handed with both hands.
Well, it's really good. It's the sort of Soviet style, but evolved as a bit like Golovkin's and things with the Qazaq style boxing.
But he finds nice angles to punch from as well. He's got wicked uppercut. Switches to the body really quickly, then back to the head.
He's got all the range of punches,
super
isn't it?
quick.
He's a very slick boxer and he's got power. But doesn't rely on the power. It's more rely on the boxing, but he has got the power to finish up. And he seems fairly tough and can take a punch as well. So Hamza Shiraz is the one up and coming. I think he's got a little bit to go, but for me, they're the 2 top in that. I mean, Lara is obviously fantastic as well, but age, I think, a little bit. I think if somebody puts it on and pushes the speed, they've got a chance of beating him. And Adames is good as well, but I think those two have, for me, are the two.
Basically,
top.
we're already sounding like we're not giving Mikhailovich a chance.
He's actually quite good. He's quite high. I don't think he's ranked as high as actually he is, and he is heavy-handed. He has got a bit of power, and he can box as well. He's got a little bit of that sort of Soviet style as well. So I think this is like a good matchup because Mikhailovich is the top ranked on IBF.
Yeah, is it a mandatory?
Yeah, and he's like 4th ranked on the WBO. And I don't think he's on either of the other ones as
No,
he's not ranked on the thing, but he is the mandatory IBF, which is why I think it's the IBF fight and it's in New Zealand.
I think it's one of them. Is Janibek the real deal?
Yeah.
He's only had 15 fights?
15 fights.
Is he the real deal? I think he is.
Well, other than the shenanigans with the last getting cancelled, I would have said, yeah, he's a consummate professional, and he is.
So, do you want to talk about why it got cancelled last time?
Well, from what I've seen, hydration issue, so he couldn't make weight, and I think he had to go to hospital, which is a bit strange for somebody who's there. So, unless there's more to it, I haven't really deeply looked, and I was just disappointed that the fight got cancelled. I was looking forward to watching it, and against a decent opponent, and then seeing, really, is he the real deal? Is he the sort of middleweight king?
So, say it is the hydration, the weight. Does that change your thoughts about the fight? If he is weight trained at that weight?
Yeah, well, that's where my concern would be. I think in the first video we sort of said we were both favouring Janibek, obviously because we knew a little bit less about Mikhailovich. But even knowing, I think still favouring him on the level of skill and experience and stuff. But yeah, I think there's a concern, there's a question mark now, depending on why was that an issue. So I think there's a little bit of concern of that, but I'm still favouring Janibek. I think if Janibek is the real Janibek and there isn't an issue with that, then I think he still beats Mikhailovich. And your thoughts on it? What do you think?
I was just reading the article. There was a good article on it because he actually collapsed.
Yeah, they had to take him to hospital.
Yeah,
because I think they did.
Which is it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
Now it's either he hasn't took training camp seriously,
which normally with these type of guys that isn't the case,
or his nutritional and dehydration team, if you like, have really, really messed up.
Yeah.
So
it would be concerned because then if it is an issue, then you would expect them at that sort of level. And usually this side of the world, people are quite good at that. You don't hear about it too much. Whether it's just a one-off or is it if it is an issue? Because he was extreme dehydration.
Yeah, let's hope it's just a one-off and that's what it is. And he's learned from it. The team around him have learned from it, and they've done things properly this time.
And that the fight goes ahead, because it'd be disappointing if it gets cancelled twice. Because obviously it was a Las Vegas headliner, and now it's, New Zealand is okay, but it's out of the way, and not many people probably going
to
be focused on it. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to watching the fight and see what Mikhailovich can do. But watching Janibek, because he is, it's a good level of skill and talent to watch.
The big one for me is what he looks like on the scales.
Yeah.
Does he look drawn, grey?
Yeah.
Has he got dull skin? There's little things like that you need to look out for. Or Does he look nice and hydrated, lean, good muscle?
Well, he normally looks pretty decent. So
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have said he was one with a weight issue thing, but
I'm going to take the weight thing out of it and just say it was a blip and now it's all sorted. I think Mikhailovich is going to be brave.
Yeah.
And maybe a bit brave for his own good.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think Janibek is a little bit special in the middleweight division. So yeah, the way he puts his punches together, just...
I think the skill level that is. I mean, yeah, if Mikhailovich catches him, then it's like anything, it can be done. Could he catch him? Yeah, everybody's catchable. It could. But I think on skill level and the way he puts his punches together, I think he is... Out of all of them in there, the only one I'd be worried about if I was Shiraz is him. I think Shiraz is capable of beating all the others. I think he may be capable of beating this guy, but I think this one is the one that I think, is special in this division, as well as Shiraz, up and coming.
Good, because we need a good middleweight division. It's been quiet.
I mean, Adamus and Lara are pretty damn good as well. I won't mention the other name. So.
No, don't.
And Nur Sultanov, up and another Kazakh.
Yeah,
I think there's enough of them. They're the 5 in that division who are probably at the sort of the top of that. With maybe there's one or two others coming up, but like.
I can't see.
But I think he is potentially the top of the tree.
Yeah, and I can't really see past a Janibek win. Janibek. Yeah. I just, like I say, I just think his speed, his punch picking, he's heavy-handed with both hands. He seems to he keeps growing in confidence as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. If you take out, let's hoping that he's fully fit and everything else and no issues. I think it's the same basic opinion as in our first video, which is I think he wins. I think it's a tough fight. I think Mikhailovich is going to give it a go.
Yeah, the thing is,
and now because he'll be a bit annoyed, the other one got cancelled, and it's more in his homeland.
Yeah,
I think he's going to want to put on a performance, and maybe the scorecards, if it gets there, will be a bit dodgy.
You never know what's going to happen over there.
Yeah.
Oh no, although some of the scoring that we've seen of late, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
Yeah. And I think Mikhailovich is a tough boy, but I think Janibek has got more.
Yeah, I just see Janibek breaking him down. And I don't think Mikhailovich is going to have an answer for him.
I think Mikhailovich might get 1 or 2 the first rounds. I think he might come out strong, but I think he's going to walk into something. I think he'll get caught. I think Janibek will work him out and then turn it. So I think it will, go for a bit, but I think he gets caught and then Janibek will just grind him down. So I think the same. What did I say last time? Probably the same. Is it 12 rounds?
You're going for a 12th round?
No, I'm going to go for the 9th round KO.
9th round KO.
Or stoppage, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 12 rounds. It should be for...
I'm just wondering whether the Mikhailovich camp are going to say they're going to work on this weight issue or the dehydration, which is basically the weight issue, and be like, take him deep.
Well, I think I'm slightly more now because of that. There's a bit more worry, and I think Mikhailovich being younger and a biggish guy this weight can take him. I think if he takes him and then if he can put the pressure on him, I think he's got a chance of getting it's really a big shock, but it's still a shock result.
Yeah.
And he talks a good show. He's quite peed off that he's quite annoyed that he's missed out on the first fight, because obviously I think that would have been the bigger event. It's not in New Zealand, sorry, it's in Sydney.
It's
Australia.
in Australia.
Did I say New Zealand before? He's New Zealand but he's in Sydney, so it's close by him. So yeah, that would be quite interesting if they can take advantage of it. I think if Janibek's real Janibek, then I think it'll be tough, but I think he'll grind him down. What are you going to go for?
I'm going to go point win
for
Janibek.
Okay, getting more sensible than you thought.
I don't like it.
Huh?
Don't like it. Yeah, point win Janibek. or a 6-round KO.
Okay, you can have both of them. Go on, we'll give you both.
I'd
I
like
think you
to
said
like to say,
7th round last time. So
I'd like to
close.
say, I'd like to see what Janibek looks like on the scales.
Yeah.
To be fair, and I haven't seen.
I think if he's not all there, I think Mikhailovich will beat him.
Yeah, I do. I think Mikhailovich has got a really good chance of beating him.
Yeah.
And I think
it's closer to home for more. He'll be used to it. I think here he's got a better chance than he would have in Vegas. So I think it's evened up a bit more. Just, like I said, I'm just ignoring the fact that if you take that out of it, it's going to be the real Janibek then with Janibek. If it isn't the real Janibek, then I'd be on the side of Mikhailovich.
Mikhailovich is, I think he's a little sneaky bugger, isn't he?
Yeah, he's quite a good...
little sneak that might cause an upset, but I don't know. No. Janibek. Yeah, Janibek. And then it'd be interesting to see who he calls out if he wins, Janibek.
Mm-hmm.
But
are you going to cry if he calls out Tracy Mike? I don't think he's going to call him out. There's no reason to fight him.
It wouldn't surprise me.
But
if
it might
he
be
did.
quite a big fight. That's the thing. If you get on a Riyadh season or one over this side, it'll be quite a big fight. So in terms of earnings, and I think for Hamza it's a bit too early. I think,
Shiraz.
but he may want one of Adames or Lara to unify.
But if Mikhailovich wins,
Again, the same thing. I think he'd probably want to call one of them.
yeah.
Which one do you think is easy to fight though? Adames or Lara? Whoever wins. Which one would you have first? If you were in their team.
I'd go for Lara, just because I think he's the bigger name at the minute because of his win coming off Garcia. And I know it wasn't a great performance, but I think he's just got a little bit more of that momentum around him. He's a little bit...
Well, I think the other thing is either of them, if you can win, if you can pressurize Lara, make him fight at your pace, at a high pace because of his age.
Yeah.
I think you've got a chance. If you fight at his pace, I think he's going to beat you. But I think if you can raise the pace... Yeah, if you can raise the pace and put him a bit under pressure, so he's got to fight at a high tempo, even if he's fighting in his, traditional style. But if you make him fight at a higher tempo, I think he's beatable.
Do you know what, though? The tough fights.
Oh, both of them are tough fights.
Really tough fights.
And even Hamza. I think all of them, they're interesting.
I wouldn't have Hamza.
I wouldn't fight Hamza yet out of them.
No, I think Hamza still needs more. I think
Hamza needs like a take our favourite guy, a Eubank first or something.
Or
that.
I think he took care of the British side of it now and go and get some good European fights under your belt.
I think he needs to step up a couple and then he's at that world title. I think he's close. But
I would put him in there now. I would. And I think he'd still do well. But I just think...
I think long-term for his career, it's better if he steps up a bit, goes through levels.
But I don't think he'll be at middleweight for long.
Yeah, I think he's big enough to...
I really don't think he's going to be at middleweight for long.
Well, I think if and when Canelo retires, I think it'd be good of him to step up because I think he gives most of the others a good fight.
Yeah.
But I think he's enough. I think he needs to do a few levels. Then he's capable of taking whatever the situation is. Go for some of the champions. Go for world titles, and then go.
Janibek
is the one I'd be worried about there more. Lara, I would be, but Lara's at the end. He's like, what is he, 41 something or other? Adames is good, but I think he's beatable. He has been beaten, and I think he's very, very good. But I think you could see him beating him. I think Janibek is the one who's the one to beat.
I do.
If it's the real Janibek and Mikhailovich can't, if he gets past Mikhailovich.
We could be completely wrong and Mikhailovich wins and he's the greatest thing since...
He could be. He's the mandatory on the IBF. He could be.
Mate, I can be a mandatory on the IBF. Some of them make mandatories on the IBF.
You probably are.
So
he's the number 3 mandatory. Number 1 and 2 are vacant. That's you and me, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm number 2, you're number 1.
No,
we were busy making this podcast, so we couldn't attend, so we passed it on to Mikhailovich.
The good thing for Shiraz is, and Chris Eubank Jr., is there's fights there that are makeable.
Yeah. There's more than one. There's enough for both and things to do. And there's a couple even below that list that you could step up fights. There's a couple of other unbeaten guys and stuff, so who are coming up.
But I would keep the pair of him away from Janibek at the moment on recent performances. Let's not go on what happened. But we'll discuss that after the Mikhailovich fight. But at the minute, I'd say keep him away from Janibek.
Yeah, if it's a classic fight, I think keep him away for the moment. And that's that. Good. Anything else to add? I think we've said everything there.
Yeah, no, well, I'm looking forward to watching Janibek.
I'm hoping it's a real Janibek and then we get a really good fight. I hope Mikhailovich turns up as well, but I think it's...
No, I think he will. I think he'll have a bee in his bonnet.
And I think he has from his... I've seen a few interviews.
Don't be shocked if he wins.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah. I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked.
There we go.
And like I said, if Janibek isn't there, well, you've said as well, I think then there could be a shock. Or surprise.
Let's wait to see what he looks like on the scales.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you think Janibek will be old Janibek? Does he win? Is he the best in the middleweight division? What do you think of the other ones? The Adameses, the Shiras, Laras, and... Out of the one. And... what are your chances for Mikhailovich to win? Like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much.